Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing my weekly review for this week's episode of The Walking Dead Season 11. This is for episode 7. It is called Promises Broken. Alright dudes, so definitely wanted to go ahead and do my review for this week for Promises Broken. Luckily this week's episode on AMC Plus, the Amazon streaming option for me, they had uploaded the episode late Saturday night, so I was able to watch it and do the review now for you guys. So Promises Broken, if you're a regular AMC viewer, you'll see it next weekend. We have one episode left after this one, just the mid-season finale, or what we usually call the mid-season finale, which is basically what's coming up with episode 8, but there's a third part to the season instead of just 2 parts as usual. We'll see the final part next year, and it looks like it's going to be an awesome finish off. So I think that this was probably my favorite episode that we've seen so far this season for season 11 after the second episode. So I think out of all the episodes so far, the second episode for this season was really awesome. Acheron Part 2, and now, especially with the Daryl side view and stuff like that, was super cool. And this one was maybe even better. I think it was really awesome because it's not a premiere episode or a mid-season finale or finale episode. It's just a regular episode, and it kind of sets us up in a really exciting part to get ready here for this episode 8, this sort of first part finale episode for this first part of The Walking Dead Season 11. This one puts us in an awesome spot for it. So Promises Broken. So basically, we've got a bunch of things happening in this episode. We've got a few different points of view. We have, to start, Maggie and Negan, and I think it's Elijah who's with them too, and Gabriel as well, so a small group there of them. We have Daryl and Leah that are sort of nearby as part of the Reapers, and then we also have the Commonwealth stuff, which is going on all at the same time. So all kinds of really awesome stuff in this episode, and this is one where I actually did like the stuff at the Commonwealth. A lot of times with these episodes, this season and in the comic book series as well too, the Commonwealth stuff was not my favorite stuff. When I read it through, I think like it's okay, it's decent, but it's not amazing. And I think in the TV series version that has sort of translated through in a similar fashion to where the Commonwealth stuff so far has been just okay. It's been intriguing and it's been, interesting in some ways, but it hasn't been like, really amazing or anything just yet. Have to wait till later. But we do get to see some really good stuff in this one at the Commonwealth with, Eugene meeting, I believe it is Sebastian from the comic book series. I don't think they've confirmed the name in the TV series yet, so it's possible they could do a name switch or something. But basically, Eugene in this one and Stephanie, or our fake Stephanie, I think, are saving Sebastian and his girlfriend. So Sebastian, from the comic series version anyway, is Pamela Milton's son. So he's very spoiled, he's very well-to-do, he's very stuck up and snobby, and we can see that in this episode when I love that Eugene punches him in the nose, which is really fun. But after saving his life, the only thing is though is that he doesn't appreciate them saving his life at all, and he's so out of touch he doesn't realize that they did just save his life and his girlfriend's life as well too. So he's quite confused, and he gets kind of mad at them because there's blood splatter on his girlfriend, and so close to them, and kind of wrecked his little date that he was having. But he doesn't realize that they actually just saved his life. Nevertheless, he gets into an argument with Eugene. Eugene doesn't understand who he's talking to, or he's not used to this bureaucracy. He's not used to this kind of having a sort of hierarchy in this type of way. So he doesn't realize that this is Pamela's son, and he punches him in the nose during the argument, which is really fun, really funny to see. So I loved all that stuff. The stuff with Yumiko was okay as well. There was a little bit with Tommy in here, but sometimes I felt like I was watching a different show. Like you're watching the stuff with Maggie and Negan and Daryl and Leah, and the stuff that's happening with them. And then you switch scenes sometimes to the Commonwealth, and it's like, am I watching the same show? Because you go from like, people looking one way to in the Commonwealth where they've got like makeup on, they're like reading like Italian like booklets and nice things like this. And so to switch back from one to the other in the same series is kind of funny. I did have the thought a couple times, like, am I watching Walking Dead? And then I had to remind myself that I was. But it's a weird switch between the Commonwealth scenes and the way they have telephones and they have all this stuff. And we get to see maybe the real Stephanie here, who seems to be a bit interested in asking Yumiko some questions before she gets the call that they have to cancel the appointment with Yumiko and Pamela because Sebastian was punched in the nose by Eugene, right? So Eugene is thrown in jail, and it looks like he's going to make a deal with Lance and with the Commonwealth to give up the location and to give up everything. Otherwise, he's going to have to sit in jail, basically, seemingly pretty much forever. So it looks like he's going to do it. It looks like Eugene's going to give up the location of the others, Alexandria, where they live, Hilltop probably too, the different locations that our survivors live in. And so it's going to be fun to see them kind of, start to kind of meet, like for Daryl and the others to meet Lance and to meet the Commonwealth for the first time should be some fun. So I really enjoyed all the stuff with the Commonwealth in this episode. Leave your comments below. Let me know what you guys think. But I think that's where they're going with everything. Eugene's going to find out that the Stephanie he's been with is probably not the real one. And he'll meet the real one at some point here. And then it sounds like he's going to give up the community. And so the Commonwealth's going to get what they want. Lance and Yumiko, possibly Yumiko owing Lance a favor later on, but she doesn't have a whole lot of choice at this point because they're getting themselves into all kinds of trouble. Ezekiel also got some treatment in this one, which is really good to see, and they had some scenes of them cleaning out some houses, and that's most of what I want to say about the Commonwealth. Now let's get to the real fun stuff, which is really awesome. So you've got Leah, you've got Daryl. They're kind of going through and trying to find the survivors, Maggie and the others that are kind of coming after them. So you have them kind of looking, and then the other way you have Gabriel and you have the group preparing with the Whisperers to come at the Reapers. Also a cool scene with Pope in this one where he just gets intense and is yelling at his guys because he's getting frustrated that they haven't been able to get any of them yet. But it does sound like from Leah that the Pope and the Reapers did know at some point that Maggie and the others may try to return, may come back and try to get revenge on them for what they did. And so, so now we're seeing that. So stuff with Daryl and Lee is okay. There was the lady who was injured but pregnant or dying and pregnant, which Daryl puts her down. And that's most we'll say about that part. But definitely the awesomest stuff. Promise is broken. The best stuff in this episode all has to do with Maggie and Negan for sure, especially ending off with them using the Whisperer tactics. So in this episode, you have Maggie and Negan spending some time here out of necessity to teach Maggie, for Maggie to learn how to do the Whisperers, march, I guess we'll call it. So they start rounding up walkers. They take some time. They really prep, and they get a whole bunch of walkers together. And then by the end of the episode, we see them marching towards the Meridian, I think she called it, right, which is the Reapers' home base, which is going to be really cool to see what happens in episode 8. Maybe the Reapers will not survive this first third of the season. Maybe the rest of this will be Commonwealth if Maggie and the others are able to kind of get them all. We have to remember that Daryl and Leah are kind of returning, or going to be coming back at some point here. So at some time, Daryl is going to have to turncoat. Will Leah be, how will she respond to that if she sees Daryl start to take out the Reapers and really switch? That's going to be exciting to find out. Or could it be such that Maggie might end up, killing her if the Whisperers tactic works well? And it looks like it will, because we have to also remember that the Reapers are not aware of the Whisperer tactic. They don't know anything about it. They don't know what it is. They've never seen it before, so far as we know. So they are going to absolutely expect that this is just a big huge horde of walkers coming towards them, they're not going to have any inkling that there are some Negan and Maggie and the others are in and among them. That's not something that they're going to, be able to figure out here. So definitely Maggie and the others are going to get the jump on them. They're going to probably come out to get the walkers or do something like this. And at that point, it might be too late for them, especially when you have Negan in there too. So, and Elijah, I think, is the other one too. Especially like the part where Maggie starts to hold Elijah's hand because he's going to crack up a little bit when he's in the Whisperer mask. But she holds his hand and they march on forward in what is an awesome scene at the end, man. One of the coolest we've seen for a long time. So I love that one. It's a standout for the season already for me. Some other good stuff with Maggie and Negan, though, the dialogue that Negan says when Maggie asks him, trying to see if he regrets what he did. Negan, even more to the opposite, instead of saying what you would expect him to say, that he regrets it, he wouldn't have done it, he would have done differently. He actually goes completely the other way and says that he would have killed them all, governor style, right? So that's going to be hard for Maggie to hear as we see her reaction to it and asking, why would you say that? And given the set of circumstances, given the way the Walking Dead world is, he's being honest and telling her. And I think that that's going to be a nice setup for her going in against the Reapers, that she knows that's what she's going to have to do and what he's going to have to do as well too. So, and after this, they're good. There's the handshake and kind of the promise that after this, they're basically even though I don't think that they could ever really be even. But if this works out and if he can get, if he can help her get her revenge against all of the Reapers, then that's what it is. So it's an awesome episode. I love it. I'm going to give it a perfect 10 out of 10. I think it's amazing. I like the Blackbeard one too. That one's funny. And really, it's just it's an amazing episode for Walking Dead. So I loved it a lot. Promises Broken, maybe my favorite episode of the season so far. I guess so, considering I wasn't expecting that much. And episode 8 might be amazing. But I could also see possibly some of the Reapers escaping, getting out of there, and then us seeing them maybe later on this season. Maybe things don't go as expected, and we see the battle kind of continue. I guess we'll have to see. But really rooting for Maggie and Negan in this one. Want to see them get Pope and get the others, and want to see how Leah reacts when she finds out that Daryl is not actually on their side. If you like this review, please thumb it up below. You can share, favorite, and subscribe at the bottom. If you're new, bottom right, just let me know what you guys think. Leave your comments below. How did you feel about this episode? I freaking loved it. That's it for this one. See you guys again soon for another. As always, it's Trev, and I'm saying peace later, guys. See you soon.